walking quietly because it is very early in the morning. It's our last morning here in Pancolina in this part of Tuscany. And honestly, I'm kind of sad. It is so beautiful and this villa is beautiful. And we're just up for sunrise right now, getting some photos. We're gonna enjoy breakfast here, kind of a slow morning, and then probably not take off till 10-ish a.m. and head to Lucca. But it has been such a pleasure to stay here. Beautiful, 100% worth it. I think everyone needs to see Tuscany. It's been my dream destination, and honestly, it does not disappoint. It is much better. Much better than expected. It was another perfect morning in Tuscany. We soaked up every bit of the view and the beautiful property. Today we will be road tripping to Lucca. It is about an hour 15-minute drive, but since we cannot check into our Airbnb until this afternoon, we are planning to stop in a few small towns and any scenic areas we see along the way. Another morning, another pistachio croissant on the patio. Let's go to Lucca! Since we had decided to take the scenic route, our first stop was Varna. We ended up pulling over to the side of the road and enjoying some lunch parked right by the vineyards. And why Varna, you ask? Well, no reason except that there's a city in Bulgaria that is also named Varna, and we thought it was funny. Castelfiorentino was our next stop. A Tuscan town with a lot of history. We didn't know much about it, but simply chose to stop as it was a larger town on our route. While there is plenty to see, including museums and churches, we simply went for a quick stroll. While not part of our initial plan, we couldn't find anywhere else to grab a bite to eat alongside the road, so we decided to try an Italian McDonald's. McDonald's all spicy McNuggets, mustard, like the salsa hot devil mayo ketchup. We ordered some pepperoni bites but got wings instead, and then 2 things of fries and a Grand McChicken, which is actually pretty big, for 26 euros, so it was a little expensive. We had some time to kill before check-in at our Airbnb, so we drove a little past Lucca to the Ponte della Maddalena, also known as the Devil's Bridge. The reason for the name lies in a legend. The bridge was built by Saint Julian, who, unable to complete it because it was too difficult, asked the devil himself for help, promising him in return the soul of the first living being to cross it. But once the devil was finished, Saint Julian threw a piece of flatbread over it, attracted a dog, and thus deceived Satan. Either way, whether you believe the legend or not, the structure is magnificent with the very blue water flowing underneath it. Now, would I recommend venturing out of the way for this attraction? I would probably say no. Besides the natural beauty, there's not much else to see in this small town. But if you find yourself in the area with some time to kill, it is definitely a good picture spot. Welcome to Lucca. We just made it here. We're going to be spending the next few nights here. First, let me show you the place that we're staying at. It is an Airbnb and I'll have it linked down below. It is stunning. It's very beautiful, very centrally located. There's even a parking like 10 minutes away that you can park at. And let me show you. I think it speaks for itself. All right, come on in. This is the main living area. Right now it's a little dark, a little bright out the windows, but I'm gonna show you that after. But off here you have your bath. Here is the bathroom, double vanity, walk-in shower, waterfall shower head, and then of course you got your toilet and your bidet. Then this is your kitchen and living area, so you have a little dining room table, and then a kitchen with everything you need. You got your fridge, oven, there's like microwave and stuff up here. They also have some stuff to cook with, things for coffee, which is really nice, and also the design of this kitchen is pretty freaking awesome. Wish this was in my home. And then dishwasher is currently unavailable, but that is okay, and you can see we already had some coffees, but you know, you have your plates and things like that, everything. And then stovetop, wine glasses, of course. And then you have your living area, nice chair, couch. There's also a smart TV that you could log into Netflix or whatever. And then there's also some books and other things. And then from here, I'll come back to the view. So Dylan, we also have the bedroom, dresser if you're planning on unpacking. Also on both sides of the beds, they have these like glass doors, which is really cool, and they're like a his and her closet, which is pretty cool. And so I guess Dylan already unpacked. City center and the hustle and bustle of everything. You can see one of the towers up there. These beautiful shuttered windows. We actually pulled the shutters open so we can really get a view, but you can see people walking around. And then the other window in the bedroom, you can actually see one of the bell towers. How cool is that? We'll see how well that is, but it's definitely super cool to have these views right outside your window. And then from the living room, very similar view, stunning. And then the other window in the living area, same tower view plus the street down below. And this is kind of what our shutters look like before we open them. And then one final area, two final areas. So behind this wooden wall that looks very sleek and everything, there is actually, if you push it in, so behind here, you actually have a washer and dryer if you need to do some laundry. And then up the staircase, there is actually a loft, kind of another hanging out space. And yeah, that's it. Tonight we are just going to walk around a little bit before our dinner reservation and get a lay of the land.
Here's a little bit of, so the previous shot, and then there's the Instagram or YouTube versus reality, where there's actually a huge tent set up right in front. Here's the reality. But this side is beautiful. Like, all these Duomo churches that are in the center of the town are very intricate and really beautiful. Like, definitely an architectural masterpiece. As you saw, we saw the main Duomo and then went to one of the towers, Tower Giuluigi. That's definitely wrong. But it actually was just closing as we got there, so we think we're gonna climb up that tomorrow because it has views of the city. And now we're just gonna explore and walk around. We have dinner reservations at a Michelin Guide restaurant tonight at 7 p.m., but it's still quite early, it's about 5, so we have some time to kill. We're just gonna walk around, not any specific destination in sight, and just see the town. It is super cute.
At dinner, there was a complimentary Papa al Pomodoro. We also ordered the Tuscan bread soup, and we had the most amazing truffle pasta, and finished with a millefoglie for dessert. That is it for our first night in Lucca. Stay tuned for the next Italy vlog, where we will spend the full day exploring Lucca.